Hello, Fantasy Sports Wizard here, and welcome to another episode of the Quest. And on screen, you can see that we are doing the Bundesliga SBC to unlock Robert Lewandowski, or should I say, Robert Lewangoalski. And I gotta say, I've been a huge fan of the Bundesliga. As a fan, I like watching it, but for the most part, this year, I just haven't built a Bundesliga squad whatsoever. Now, I'm sure maybe I could be tempted into trying out a Bundesliga squad during team of the season into the summer when the game gets a bit stale. But for the most part, I just haven't gone down that route. I mean, I've got a few Bundesliga players that are decent just sitting in my club, like Ousmane Dembele. I got Renato Sanchez, who's everyone's darling earlier this year. But for the most part, I just haven't utilize these players in a full Bundesliga setup. Maybe I've used a couple of players like Thiago in a Spanish team or um, Coman in a French team, but for the most part, these guys just haven't found a way into my squads. It's weird. I mean, I normally use them, but for the most part, it just hasn't happened this year for one thing or the other. Now, for this league SBC, I've been stacking these players for a while. Ever since knowing that the big leagues every league's gonna get an SBC at some point, I've just literally been incorporating all the packs I get into my club and holding them for the time when I need to do these league SBCs. And it's kind of worked out nicely that I can then go ahead and get these packs from this SBC in time for team of the season. And with that in mind, I'm looking forward to the Serie A one. That's my goal. I keep reiterating that. But a lot of these guys, I haven't had to spend a lot. It's hard to judge how much completing Lewandowski actually is for me. Now, I probably spent 70k going out, putting the finishing touches to this SBC, and I did kind of make that money back by packing Mbappe if I were to sell him. But aside from that, I won't know the true cost until way down into team of the season if I pack anything out and sell those. Now, Dortmund was probably the most expensive alongside Bayern Munich. I have very few Bayern Munich players sitting in my club, and the Dortmund one, you have to use either second informed piece check or Schürrle and Berkey. I think it's cheaper to go down the piece check route instead of buying the other two players. Now, I've been using Peacecheck as an investment, but the way the market's reacted with the team of the tournament knockout stage and they've run into team of the season, prices have just dived off a cliff. Now, Peacecheck will set you back around 80k on PS4, 60k on Xbox One. Now, I've had Peacecheck in my club. I bought him as an investment, and right now he's going for what I paid for him. So I should be able to make a little bit of money on the second one that I picked up. It's just a matter of getting him listed, and hopefully someone goes, yeah, well, I'll just buy him for the price I have. I'm currently having him up at 100k. I thought his price was a little bit lower, so I had dropped my asking rate there to reflect the market. But maybe these players, because they're in demand, will hopefully hold some value. Now, Kevin Gamero, I bought as an investment in my French team. I wanted to try him out, and as far as I'm aware regarding the Suarez SBC, Gamero is now one of those players that you actually now need to complete it. I think Torres is practically extinct, and you're not going to be using anyone higher like a Griezmann or a informed Godin. Those guys are out of the ballpark in terms of completing the cost. Now, Gamero is an interesting one. I bought him around 70, 80k, I think, during that team of the week, and I was gonna try him out. And if I didn't like him, I was then gonna sell him. But I really like him. He just seems to fit my style of play in that formation I'm playing. The last few games I was playing with that team, he was really starring compared to say Fakir and Ben Yedder. I mean, I love Ben Yedder. He's probably one of my favorite players alongside Fekir. But Gamero was the standout player. Like, he was just appearing in key moments. He's got a good shot on him. And thankfully, compared to a lot of my other players, he has managed to keep his price, and he's like selling for around 100k. So if I do go out and sell him, and then I use Mbappe in maybe instead of him, I'm not gonna lose out. But that's for future, depending on what happens come like La Liga team of the season. Now I'm gonna say this again, like I'm looking at getting Serie A. That's where I'm gonna do my main pack opening. But for like Premier League, I will probably go out and buy the players that I want to incorporate into my team, and any French players that get team of the season that I want, I will go out and buy those guys. Like the odds are that it'll be easier to buy those guys than to actually pack them. But I'm getting sidetracked. I mean, I love just like talking about like stuff in my club, stuff that I want to do. But back, sort of getting back into the Bundesliga, SBC, like it was fairly easy. Like a lot of these guys were pretty cheap. Like Darmstadt, I think, was maybe one of the more expensive ones, due to the fact that there's very few golds. They're more of a silver team. Now, when people were speculating about like all these league SBCs, everyone realized that RB Leipzig was going to be a tricky one due to like again a lot of silvers. But because of the success they're having in the Bundesliga, it has allowed EA to go out and upgrade a lot of their players from like silvers into non-rare gold, which has then meant that Leipzig has become one of the cheaper clubs to do. But if you're preparing beforehand, like it would have been a lot more expensive. And had those upgrades not come, or had Leipzig struggled in the Bundesliga and not gotten those upgrades, you would be looking at another club that was going to cost a little bit more. But for the most part, like a lot, like the big SBCs where they have like a lot of non-rare golds, rare golds, you're not going to spend a lot of money. It's those little leagues where they're lesser known players with the silvers that are going to cost a bit. I mean, the championship, there's 24 teams. I think the last time I checked, you're looking around 130k to complete that on PS4. Now, what's frustrating for me is I guess I never fully expected them to do a championship SBC for some bizarre reason. I don't know. I just seem to think that it was no disrespecting the league. I just didn't think they would do like a lower league. I thought they would do like the main leagues of each country. Now, and the other frustration with that is that in doing so, I've been using like the championship, League One, League Two. A lot of those players I will rinse through SBCs because they are cheap, they have no real value until they drop that league SBC. So it was a little frustrating in that sense, but it is what it is. I mean, I fully expect, like, hopefully I can go out and complete them as the market continues to drop. And I generally think that, especially with the hype around surrounding this week's team of the week, there's like a striker Martial, hero Messi for scoring 500 goals for Barcelona. So, like, I think those players will drop, and for the most part, if I don't get it done soon, I can probably get it done during like team of the season most consistent. Like, it will be one of those teams that I will just keep pulling from the upgrade method. So there's my fingers there, like bronze packing it as well. Like those guys will show up. So I will get those packs done. You will see them. I will do it similar to the way I done this Bundesliga one. I'll just show you every team that I build and then submit, and literally gonna have one big pack opening for the Serie A. That's my plan. I mean, I do have other pack openings that I plan to do, like if I get all those upgrades for like the bronze team of the season and the silver one from the upgrade method. And that's where we're heading towards, like team of the season and pack openings. Now, I don't know, like if you how I'm gonna get around to doing those, how you want to see them. I mean, do you want us to just see an entire uncut video of me just opening one of those packs. I mean, I don't know how many I'm gonna get by the time it rolls around. It's gonna be tricky. I mean, like the upgrade method, I'll have to probably do on the computer instead of on the console, as I suspect. Like a lot of those packs will be hidden at the end of the channel, so it will take a while to get through them, and I don't want to like go through the other packs just to simply complete them. And I apologize if I edited this video out. Like a lot of these guys shouldn't have been seeing me having to fix these up, but I think like when I was doing the Pacific Rim and the European Tour too, some of those guys I then packed from like the untradables. Like I had these teams built and then I just had to switch them out. So apologies. Like I thought I had edited it all out where I had to fix them, but it seems I've just forgot a couple of teams like Wolfsburg and in the last one as well for Schalke. But it's not a big problem. I just disrupts the flow, but you can still see like the guys that I've used to get the rating, to get the completions done. So I believe this is the last team now. So if you did enjoy this video, you enjoyed my ramblings, like I never know what I'm going to talk about when it comes to recording these sort of league SBCs. Like I just seem to go off on a tangent, and I enjoy that. So hopefully you guys enjoy listening to what I have to say. Hopefully you can then generate an opinion, and if you have any opinions on like your plans for team of the season, let me know in the comments. Like Lewandowski is a player that you don't really see much this year, but he was a guy that I kept packing in a couple of FIFAs ago, so I'll be excited to try him out again, see what he's like. But aside from that, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm the Fantasy Sports Wizard, and I shall see you on next time. Bye!